Alright, hello. So this is an instructional video. I'm going to take you through the steps of creating a document based on a page from a technology textbook. I gave everyone a handout titled Mathematics and Formulas, and I asked you to type everything up and try to make it look exactly like this. Try and make the headings look exactly like this. Try and put the tables in here exactly like this. And I may have told you, I may not have. I may have asked you to make these headings blue. In the source text, the big headings are blue and the subheadings are red, so that's what I'm going to do. And if you're following along making changes, please do the same. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to open up Google Doc. And I'm sure you don't want to watch me type everything, so I've typed the text in a notepad document. I'm going to copy this by using Ctrl-C. And I'm going to come over here to the Google Doc and I'm going to paste it by using Ctrl-V. And there you go. Now if you look at the source image, you'll see that there's all of this space over here. They've increased this margin, the left margin, by quite a bit. So let's do that with ours. Let's select everything. Now you can click and drag, or you can just press Ctrl-A. Ctrl-A will select everything. Select everything and then come up here to your ruler. This is your ruler. And there's three things you can control on the ruler. You can control the right indent. You can control the left indent, and you can control the first line indent. The first line indent controls the indent for the very first line in your paragraphs. So I want to control the left indent. I want everything to scoot in a little bit. And there. That looks good to me. Now this actually, well, these paragraphs are not very indented, are they? I'm just going to use tab to move these in a little bit more. Okay, so for this one we want to make it a little bit bigger, and you can't tell from the photocopy, but in the original text this was actually blue. And then this one down here was not quite as big, and it was actually kind of a dark reddish color. Now, right here, you can see there's a little shape with some text on it. Formulas transform otherwise static numbers into meaningful results. And it kind of comes out of nowhere and inserts itself into this block of text. And the text wraps around that little protrusion. In order to do something like that in Google Docs, you're going to have to insert a drawing. Insert a drawing. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a little shape. Now if you'll notice on that original document, they used a shape that has rounded corners. So we're going to use that. And I'm going to draw a little shape like this. And I'm really only paying attention to the right side because the shape looks like it's coming from somewhere off the page. This end of the shape is probably going to be off the page. It's just going to look cut off. Alright, now I want to get rid of the edge. Now if you wanted to get rid of the shading, you could just go to the fill color and click transparent, and you would have no filling in here. But we don't want that. In fact, we do want the filling. What we don't want is that line. See how there's a bit bold black line there? Well, that's not there in the original text. So let's select this shape and give it a transparent line. There we go. Now we need to put some text on here. Let's go ahead and insert a text box and draw that text box something like this, and then type in the text. Formulas transform, otherwise static numbers to meaningful results. Okay, now I misspelled this, and look what happened. It gave me a little squiggly red line underneath the word because I misspelled it. Always look in your documents for words that are misspelled. You can right-click on that, and it'll give you a list of suggestions. Yes, I meant otherwise. Also, if you look at our source document, the top line of text starts here and then goes along, but then the second line of text starts somewhere here in the middle, and then it goes to the end. And you can make yours do that by coming up here. We want to find the left align, center align, or right align box. And you might have to click on this more button so you can see some more options. Here we go. Here's the alignment. We want a right alignment. We want everything pushed to the right side, everything lined up on the right side. There we go. That's exactly what we were looking at before. This is too big. Let's take it down a little bit. Let's change our font size from 14 to, I don't know, 10. But now I'm not liking this because we've just got one word hanging out here all by itself. So let's shorten this up. There we go. And that looks pretty close to the book. When you're all done, click Save and Close. Now there are, if we move this around, it's going to move the text around our image. But we don't want it with the text. We want it somewhere out over here, coming from the left side of the page. Right now it's not letting us do it because the inline option is selected. In order to get the effect that we're looking for, let's go ahead and click Wrap Text. Now we should be able to move this over here, and it should kind of look just like the book. I have some spelling mistakes here. Google Docs is telling me I have some spelling mistakes because of these red squiggly lines. Let's clean those up. Alright, we're looking good. Now we have a table down here. Table 1.3. Table 1.3. There's a couple of ways you can insert this table. Probably the easiest way is to insert a table. You can go to the Insert menu and click Table, and then you get this little tool that allows you to specify how many squares you want, or you can come up to Table and Insert Table. Same thing. Our table has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows and 3 columns. So let's insert a table with 7 rows and 3 columns. But our table, look at this, the very top thing, it doesn't look like 3 columns. It looks like one very wide column. Sometimes when you're titling a table, you want the top cell to span across the entire table. You can do that by selecting the top 3 cells, top 3 squares. We call those cells. Left click, hold, drag. Highlight all 3 of those squares. And then you're going to do something called merge and center. Let's see if it comes up when I right click. There you go, merge cells. And look at that. Now you've got one big wide cell that you can put your title into. I'm going to cut this, that's Ctrl-X. Ctrl-X is cut, and then Ctrl-V is paste. Now you'll notice in our original document that's kind of shaded. It's white text on a black background. So let's format that. Let's change the background color to something dark. I could go with pitch black, but I'm just going to go with a dark gray number 4. And then let's change our text color to white. And there we go. And this will be operation. If I hit tab after I'm done typing something in a cell, it'll go to the next cell in that row. Tab. Now I asked you to copy the thing I gave you exactly, and that's fine if you did that. But you'll notice that this is from a book that assumes that you're using Excel and a bunch of Microsoft Office products. We're not using Excel. We're using Google Sheets. So bonus points if you, every time it says Excel, you remember we're not using Excel and you put in Google Sheets. Now for this, I need to put in a normal looking division sign. And I don't really see that anywhere on my keyboard. So what I can do, if you're on a Windows computer, you can go to the Start menu and look for something called the character map. Character map has all kinds of symbols that you can't find on your keyboard. And I bet you they're going to have a division symbol somewhere in here. Well, there it is. So double click on it and that moves it down to this little field right here. And then hit copy. Now when you go, you can close this. When you come over here and press Ctrl-V for paste. Alright, there it is. And there's your division sign. Alright, so that looks pretty close to our original table. All we got to do is change the background here to something nice and light. And we can leave the black text there. There you go. Alright, this needs to be a little bigger and a little bolder. Figure 1.8. Now this one you could do with a table, or you could do something else. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go to Google Sheets. And you can see that this is a figure 1-8 is a picture of a spreadsheet. So let's just make a spreadsheet. Instead of having to spend all that time making something that looks like a spreadsheet, let's just use a spreadsheet. Here's a spreadsheet that I made that has all of the same stuff in all of the same cells. And all I have to do is format it a little bit, and then I can use the print screen function to do a screen cap. So let's see, what do I need to do here? These should be bold. If you look at the original image, these are bold. This B column is very skinny. It looks like the author just kind of used that as a spacer. Now there are some little markings you can on there. You can see on your original document. You can see there's this little circle that says input values and output formula results, and there's these little brackets that are just adding emphasis to our image. It's really difficult to do that in Google Sheets. So if you skipped it, that's fine. But what we can do is we can use print screen to capture a picture, do a screen cap. Oops. You know what? I don't want to screen cap it when this E is dark like that. So I'm going to click way out here, and then I'm going to print screen. I'm going to click the print screen button on my keyboard. And I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to paste with Ctrl-V. And I'm going to get a huge thing. all I want is this little part of this spreadsheet. So I am going to use the crop image tool. Crop image is like if you want to cut away all the borders, then you would use the crop tool. So I'm going to grab this handle, I'm going to bring it down in here. I'm going to grab this handle and bring this way up here. Then I want to turn the crop tool off. Here's the crop image button up here. You can toggle that on and off. I want to make this larger so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Now look at that. Doesn't that look a lot like the spreadsheet from the book? We just need to do a little bit more cropping. Click crop tool, crop image tool. Grab these handles, bring this down. Turn the crop image tool off. Looks pretty darn good right there. Now you could leave this figure 1.8 here, but in the book they created a little text box. So let's create a little text box. Let's go to Insert. Alright, there is no insert text box. Now if you're coming from Microsoft Word, that might throw you. But you can create a text box by going to Insert Drawing, and then your text box tool is right here. And let's type figure 1.8 formula results. And this is bold. And this is bold. And we don't need this box so big. Let's make it smaller. And then save and close. You've got this right here. Let's wrap text. Let's bring it way out here. It's too big. Let's make it smaller. Alright, it's being a little ornery. Okay, it doesn't want to do it. It really doesn't want to do it. Alright, you can do that, or if you want, you can just put in a title. It says Figure 1.8 Formula Results. Don't forget to go in here and make all these indents nice and clear. Alright, now for the tip box. There's a little box right here. It's got the tip box. Now, when I gave you this sheet, I asked you what your favorite color was, and I asked you to make this box in your favorite color. Someone said their favorite color was purple, so I asked them to make this top part in dark purple and this bottom part shaded light purple. I've created some videos that show you how to do that. They're back at the Google Classroom page, the stream page. So go watch those if you're stuck on that. I'm just going to drive right on. All right, if you, all right, let's see here. This is 36. If I go up to 48, that's too big. Well, is it too big? I don't know. Well, I guess that's not too big. But you can also type numbers in here. If you don't like 36 and you don't like 48, type in 42 and then hit enter. And you can get 42, okay? Alright, if everything looks okay, actually I'm going to move this over a little bit. If everything looks okay, save and close. That looks a little bit too big, so I'm going to scrunch it up a bit. And there you go. For this one, once I save and close, this isn't going to be a text box anymore. It's going to be an image. So it would be better make it look like this before you save and close, because the text won't wrap anymore. It's not going to change as you make the text box bigger or smaller. So make it look like this before you save and close, please. Alright, we've got one more figure to go. And this one, again, is a little piece of a spreadsheet. So I'm going to use the same technique I used last time. I'm going to go to a spreadsheet that I already typed up. And I'm going to print screen using the print screen button on my Windows keyboard. And then I'm going to paste using Ctrl-V. And then I'm going to crop. Use my crop image button and crop. And there you go. This time, let's just go ahead and put figure 1.9. Formula results based on order of precedence. Okay, so if you have any questions, come and see me. You can watch this video as many times as you need. I hope that was clear for you.